Audiolog 1. Dr. Marcus Vale reporting. Well, junior researcher Marcus Vale, technically, but hell, that doesn't sound as cool. Just landed this morning. 12 hours, 2 flights, and a wet ride through a jungle that looks like something out of a fever dream. And now I'm standing inside the most secure biological research station in the world. No name on the gate, no coordinates on the manifest, just a project designation and a signature line at the bottom that said, "Turn back or sign eternity." I signed. I wish I could tell you everything. Really, I want to tell you everything. But there are NDAs stacked so high I'm sure I'm not even allowed to describe the shape of the breakfast cereal here. What I can say is this. The facility is located in a remote sector of the Madre de Dios region in Peru. It's entirely self-sufficient, solar-powered, and carved straight out of the rainforest like some alien ruin. 4 levels, 17 labs, no roads in, and no way out unless it's your assigned leave rotation, which, get this, is once a year, 3 weeks. That's it. So, yeah. We're not here for fresh air. We're here because someone, somewhere, is spending a lot of money to make sure this place stays hidden. Whatever they're building, growing, studying, it's big. Bigger than any university grant, any pharmaceutical pipeline, any military black site I've ever read about. And somehow, they hired me. Straight out of Caltech. 1 letter of recommendation, a test, a flight, and now here I am, recording a login, a concrete bunker with vines growing through the ceiling, and hummingbirds tapping the windows like they're curious what we're doing in here. And then there's him, Dr. Ezra Halden. He's the reason I'm here. Everyone here knows his name. Geneticist, ethologist, field surgeon. One of those polymath legends you assume is made up until you shake his hand. He's, something else. Wears his lab coat like armor, moves like soldier, talks like monk. No small talk. But when he speaks, the room shuts up. They say he was here for phase 1, whatever that means. He shook my hand when I arrived, looked me straight in the eyes and said, "This place will change your life. The question is whether it leaves you better than it found you." I laughed. Though it was some hazing line, he didn't laugh. Anyway, the air smells like copper and ozone. There are vines on the hallway floors they haven't removed. And I swear something made a low clicking sound in the trees when the chopper left. Probably just birds. Probably. I've got orientation in 15, then clearance test, then meal block, then lights out. First day on the job. Can't wait to see what this place is really about. Log 4. Dr. Marcus Vale. Week 1 complete. The orientation program ended yesterday. I've been assigned to Lab 6, Behavioral Observation and Neural Patterning. Big glass walls, temperature controlled, more cameras than a casino. My job, on paper, is to assist with cognitive stimulus tracking in what they're calling specimens A through E. No names, no species, not yet, just letters. They say it's to maintain emotional separation, which sounds clinical, sensible, necessary. But when you're staring into the eye of something that follows your reflection in the glass as you move, you start to wonder if the emotional separation is meant for them, not us. The glass is supposedly soundproof, one way, but today I was in the corridor between lab 6 and the feeding module. I paused. I was tired. Watching one of the subjects. It was subject C, I think. Just standing still in its enclosure, head cocked. And then it did this thing. It scraped the floor once with its middle talon. It was deliberate, slow. Then it tapped its snout against the glass. Once, twice, then again, 3 taps. It stared at me the whole time, didn't blink. I laughed it off, joked about it with Jennings. She runs telemetry. Said it must have been a weird coincidence. She didn't laugh. She said, they don't do anything without purpose. Later I asked if anyone had taught it that behavior. She got quiet, said, you think we taught them? And that stuck with me. I keep replaying it in my head. We were told in the briefing that most of the cognitive training protocols were unstructured. That's what they called it. But it feels more like, I don't know, monitoring? Like we're waiting for them to teach us something. And that's not how this field is supposed to work. Also, side note, there was this smell in a hallway near cold storage, like bleach and copper. The same smell I smelled back when I came here. One of the interns said it's from an unscheduled specimen disposal. No one on the manifest is listed as missing, but the night shift looks thinner, and Holden hasn't been seen in 2 days. No announcements, no emergency protocols, just thinner hallways and locked doors that used to be open. Either way, I think I need to start listening more than I talk. There's a rhythm to this place. And I think something behind the glass already knows mine. End log. Log 7. Dr. Ezra Holden hasn't returned. No emails, no logs, no chatter. His name has been blacked out on the task board outside the central lab. Just erased. So they moved me. Temporarily, they say. I'm on observation rotation 3B now. Night watch for Sector Delta, which, until yesterday, was entirely restricted to level 3 clearance and above. They didn't give me a new badge, just an escort. 2 guys with rifles and no name tags. Sector Delta is nothing like Lab 6. No glass walls, no subtle lighting. Just concrete. Steel. Massive airlocks that hiss like lungs when they open. You walk through it and you feel like a trespasser. Not just because of the guards, but because of the pressure. The heat? Like the walls are holding back something that resents you. I didn't see the subject, not directly, just the shape. It was standing at the far end of the enclosure, maybe 15 meters tall. Hard to say. The fog inside was thick, and there were steam vents feeding into the chamber. I could only make out a silhouette against the red hazard lights. White chest, forward-facing eyes, a jawline that could take a door off a tank. They called specimen M. No further designation, but someone, somewhere, spray painted the nickname King in red letters across the observation bay's back wall. It's been scratched through, clawed. The control room has reinforced shutters, redundant power, and ballistic-grade emergency seals. Why does biology lab need blast shielding? Why are there rail-mounted cannons facing the enclosure hooked to an AI targeting system that doesn't report to us? Someone once told me this place wasn't military. They lied, obviously. There's more. In the hall outside the enclosure, I saw crates being unloaded, marked with faded UN biosafety labels, then remarked with black tape. Inside, I only got a glimpse. Ribs the length of my arm, wrapped in cryogel, still wet. Not fossils, though. Fresh. I don't think Holden went on a leave. I think he saw something he wasn't supposed to. Or maybe something saw him. He once told me, what you called dangerous, I called unfinished. He was always cryptic like that. Now I wonder if he wasn't warning me. Whatever specimen M is, it doesn't pace, it doesn't react, it just watches. And when I looked into the darkness long enough tonight, I swear something inside blinked. Once, then again, 3 times. Same rhythm as Subject C. I'm beginning to think that was never a behavior. It was a language. End log. Log 11. Still stationed in Sector Delta. Still on nights. Still temporary, they say. I've started receiving partial documentation on specimen M. Heavily censored. Most of the files are marked with integral designation like Predatory Group 4 or Gen Project 7H. Anything with field data attached has massive redactions. Entire pages blacked out like someone took a Sharpie to history itself. But there are patterns. One document mentioned visual acuity tests, binocular range, color differentiation, reflex response time, measured in milliseconds. It responded faster than the control computer during one of the trials. There was also an entry about cranial morphology, vague sketches. The orbital cavity is forward-facing, deep set. Notes suggest possible threat recognition behavior in an absence of direct stimuli. In other words, it remembers what scares it, even when it's not there anymore. Another set of documents involved tracking movement within the enclosure. No pacing, no feeding time excitement, just stillness, strategic movement. One of the researchers wrote, Subject has adopted a kind of calculated torpor, mimics lethargy. Observer 3 reported motion only after turning back to leave station. Like it's studying us. Like it's learning when we're not. But here's the thing that really got to me. One file I shouldn't have had access to. It was buried in a server cache, mislabeled under behavioral enrichment logs. Referenced specimen D. Unlike the others, that one had a name. Scrawled in a corner in someone's handwriting. Dilophosaurus. Um, Next to it a status in red. Terminated. And above it, barely legible. Out of containment. No reports. No details. Just that. Out. Then terminated. No one talks about it. No one even says the word incident here. They say things like event discontinuity or containment revision. Sterile phrases. Nothing lives in a sentence like that. Nothing dies either. I brought it up once to Jennings, quietly. She just stared at me blank. She just asked if I had reviewed the company's wellness manual, section 8.3. That's the section about narrative discipline. She smiled when she said it. Her hands were shaking. And here's the worst part. I find myself agreeing with her. I haven't slept more than 4 hours in the past 3 days. My dreams feel like surveillance footage. And my heart rate spikes every time I pass through the southern access corridor, where they repaved the floor last month. The tile doesn't match. They say it was water damage. But you don't fix a pipe leak with a concrete reinforcement. Still, I keep thinking, maybe they're right. Maybe I am reading too much into this. Maybe this is just what working at the top looks like. At the edge of knowledge, there's bound to be risk. Bound to be loss. We're rewriting the laws of life. And that comes with a cost, right? The company has a vision. Holden believed in it. So do most of the others here. Maybe I should stop digging and just do the work. Maybe that's all I'm here to do. And log. Log 14. Still here. Still breathing. I guess that counts for something. I've been assigned a rotation system now, split between daytime work in Lab 6 and overnight monitoring for the Delta enclosures. No rest in between, just change in lighting. The body doesn't know how to react when it never leaves fluorescent twilight. But I'm not alone during all of it. Jennings. She's not officially my partner, but she flows between the same corridors, fills in on bioanalysis and reviews the same logs I do. Though she barely speaks outside of reporting cycles. She's always buttoned up, always precise. Even when the rest of us are dragging through the doors like ghosts, she's there, already working, already watching. I don't think she likes me, but I don't think she dislikes me either. She's present, and in this place that's rare enough to matter. Sometimes we'll pass each other in the glass corridor between the labs. We won't exchange words, but just a nod. Brief, like punctuation. Feels like enough to remind me that I'm still tethered to something human. When I'm down in the Delta base, standing in front of that pressure-sealed observation wall, when I hear the hydraulic system groan for no reason, and something thuds behind the steel like it weighs too much to be possible, it's her voice on the intercom that breaks through the static. Professional, even bored sometimes. Copy that, Lab 2. Logging temperature Delta for chamber M1. Stand by. That's Jennings. She never calls them by name. She never flinches at the noise. But her timing is always right. I caught her once, lingering after a shift change. She stayed in the monitor room with me for a few minutes longer than she needed to, watching the movement data spike and fall in unreadable rhythms across the telemetry display. I asked her if the numbers ever bothered her. She said, no, the numbers don't lie. It's the silences between that worry me. And then she got up and left, just like that. I think about that a lot. She's the only one I can trust to be there when something goes wrong. Not because she'll save me, but because she won't pretend it's not happening. We're all pretending something here. That the walls will hold, that Holden went home, that the claws scraping along the interior doors are test patterns or just anomalies. But Jennings doesn't pretend. She logs it. She breathes through it. She stays. I don't need more than that. Just one real person. End log.
Audio log 21. This is Dr. Marcus Vale, recording from Substation 04 during scheduled night shift rotation. Standard observation protocol in effect. Thermal imaging systems synced to baseline. No behavioral anomalies logged across sectors C1 through C3. Environmental sensors triggered momentarily at 042 hours in C2. No visual confirmation, no audio signature. Heat trail dissipated in less than 3 seconds. Per protocol, systems were recalibrated and data was flagged for morning analysis. Current theory, false positive. Could have been equipment bleed, transient charge, or nothing. Still, I did a manual sweep on the monitor grid. All pens read clear. No movement, no sound, no eye shine in the dark. Just stillness. Sometimes I think this place wants to fill in the gaps. One flicker on a sensor, and your brain starts spinning stories. Shadows stretch longer than they should. Reflection move when nothing's there. The thing about the large specimen is they're rarely seen. Data flies indicate that visual confirmation of individuals in C2 and C3 is irregular. Only a handful of logged sightings, all from high observation gantries. The rest is inferred by pressure plates, heat grids, impact resonance. God damn it. That's the word they use. Inferred. There's something out there. Big, heavy, breathing. But never where you expect it to be. They built the C2 pen with light dampening alloy along the interior walls. Same stuff they use in the aircraft, the stealth ones. Why exactly? Not in my clearance. But I've noticed that even with infrareds, the edge of the enclosure always looks blurred, like the camera lens can't quite commit. I filled a request for environmental recalibration. No response yet. Jennings would probably tell me I'm being overly cautious, but Holden worked this shift for 6 years. And now he's gone. Just like that. No goodbye, no debrief. Just a name struck from the duty roster and a new keycard in my hand. Anyway, that's the log. All systems green, no confirmed anomalies. Enclosures, well, it remains secure. But if something was out there, it's not breaking in nor out. It's waiting. End log. Audio log 27. Dr. Marcus Vale reporting. Observation shift 3 assigned to enclosure A primary apex specimen. Excuse me. According to the internal schedule, I'll be posted here for the next 72 hours. Original assignment, sector C2, has been suspended pending internal maintenance review. No details provided. Standard blackout clause invoked. Specimen A remains stationary at the far western edge of the enclosure. She, assuming the original sexing is correct, has not moved significantly for the past 40 minutes. Breathing appears calm, eyes are open. I'm really sorry. It's unprofessional to do on this log, but my recent shift has been draining. Anyways, it's uh, it's strange how the room changes when she's awake. She doesn't move like the others. No twitching, no tail flick, no agitated pacing. She just waits, stationary. Occasional movements. But make no mistake, she's aware. And the eyes. Forward facing, binocular, human like. I uh, I reviewed the cranial scans this morning. Uh, dense optic nerves, narrow orbital distance. The theoretical field of vision is astonishing, but it's not just the biology, it's the focus. You don't glance around a room like that unless you're looking for something specific. And when she looks at the glass, it uh, it isn't curiosity. It's recognition. I can feel it, like the pressure, like I'm a shape she's already memorized, and she's waiting for me to move first. Predators don't need to be fast all the time, not when they're that smart. Sometimes being smart is cleaner. It's cleaner to watch. Sometimes being fast is, well, messy. It's better to learn than to just attack blindly. The the enclosure is reinforced with enough steel and polymer to hold a freight train, but still, you feel it when she shifts her weight. The walkway hums, the stomach tenses, like gravity changes ever so slightly in her direction. No, no roars, no displays of dominance. Um, that's the thing that worries some of us. She doesn't perform like the apex predators usually would. Um, she calculates. She's very cold, but at the same time very lively. Uh, Back in college, uh, they taught us about stimuli response behavior, action, reaction, training, conditioning, uh, Pavlov dogs. Uh, but that assumes the subject isn't thinking in full. This one thinks, I'm sure of it. She's not just reacting, she's planning. um, Ending log, no incidents. Specimen remains in closure, uh, no alerts triggered. But I'm requesting a shift rotation to daytime only. Respectfully, Not because of fatigue. Because if I catch your eyes again after dark, I don't know that I'll look away.